I'm Jeff Cornwall, and this is the Entrepreneurial Mind. Today our guest is Dr. William Edwards, and we're back to talk with him about his business right after this word from our sponsor. Welcome back. So, Dr. Edwards, explain a little bit about sort of the growth you've had. You have a vein clinic, and you've gotten into kind of a very specialized little niche. How did you kind of get from your early days of medicine into something that has grown into quite an impressive enterprise?
Well, I'm a vascular surgeon trained, and vascular surgeons deal with arteries and veins everywhere but the heart. And we were treating veins before we opened up our specialized vein clinic with what was in the past the standard of care, which was vein stripping, required in the hospital treatment.
I've had friends that have had that done. That's not a whole lot of fun.
Right, and the treatment turned out to be worse than the disease.
Yes, it was.
So in about 10 years ago, some people figured out...
And it doesn't sound very fun to the patient either.
Right, no, it wasn't, never was. 10 years ago or so, some people figured out that you could do something else to the vein besides tear it out. And laser ablation and radiofrequency ablation became popular, and we adopted.
So explain how that works. What do you do when you go in and do those kinds of treatments?
So essentially, it converted a in-hospital or a medical outpatient surgical procedure to a in-office procedure. So that was the other big jump.
So this isn't even done in a surgical center anymore?
No, it's done in our office.
Wow.
Under local anesthesia. Typically, you take a Valium tablet to kind of relax you. So it jumped exponentially in technology,
right,
because we were going from an open surgery procedure in a hospital to outpatient surgery using lasers and radiofrequency ablation. So essentially, the laser and the radiofrequency ablation are simply a method of delivering energy to the vein. So we cauterize it from the inside out, basically, and do that under local anesthesia. So
you basically close off that vein.
Right. And actually, one of the proprietary names is closure device. That one of the.
So I just violated somebody's trademark out there with that.
Didn't violate it.
All right.
So
I gave it some life.
Yeah.
All right.
So when we saw this change, we decided to have a specialized clinic in the treatment of these veins, because the number of people who were candidates for the surgery all of a sudden grew tremendously.
Oh, I would imagine.
It's estimated that there millions of people, something like 50 million people have varicose veins in the U.S. and may need treatment.
Right. So you were making then the transition from a fairly traditional practice to a little bit more of a healthcare business.
Right.
Can you talk about that transition for you and kind of what you had to go through to kind of get ready for that?
We sat around a lot. In the first days.
Where are the patients?
To happen,
where are the patients?
Yeah, and we made the decision that we would dedicate the time.
Because if you build it, they will come, right?
Well, the other problem is that if you're not there, then it's kind of a out of stock problem. You can't make the sale if you're not there.
Right.
So we basically had to take time off from our traditional practice and go and be there physically for, at first a small number of patients who came.
That's such a leap of faith. I mean, that's like any entrepreneur leaving a day job and starting up a new business, and that's kind of a scary step.
And it was, and there were several of us in our practice that made the dedicated time to do it. Of the 4 people, of the 5 people who started doing it, only 4 of us continued to do it. One of them decided it wasn't worth his time, and he went back to doing the
traditional kind of medicine. Yeah. So what have you learned about business along the way? What are some business lessons you've learned?
really get good people to help you. That's really important. The people working for you have to be good, and the personnel you have, don't underestimate your investment in what you made in those people when they start talking about going to other places, and try to hold on to them.
Right.
And I think that we have expanded slowly, and I think in a way that has been able for us to scale it up. It's been not too rapidly. So I don't think you have to be a little careful of growing too rapidly.
Right.
Your expenses can get out of hand.
They
really
sure
quick.
can.
The
They
rent
sure
is
can.
expensive in medical
And
office
it's
buildings.
tempting to kind of grow fast when you see the market out there,
Right.
but the patience is important. So you've been able to
So-
fund your growth basically through cash flow of
Right.
the business.
So we opened our original office near our office in Belmead, and with about 1,000 square feet, really small.
Well, that's tiny.
Cracking box.
Yeah.
It was small. And then we held that for a couple of years and got enough business that we moved to about a 3,500 square foot place in the same building. And we did that for a couple of years. Then we decided we needed a branch in another location, because convenience is very important in this business. It's a lot about our demographics are somewhere in the 30 to 55-year-old female age group, and so convenience was very important.
So is this literally something they can do over a morning, or I mean, it's that quick in terms of being able to go back about your daily life?
Well, certainly the office visit is. The procedure is not that way. Now, if you're taking Valium, we don't want them driving home.
Well, yeah. I think I've seen a few people on the road that might have done that, but
Right.
that's, yeah.
So we decided to open a place in Cool Springs. We looked a long time trying to figure out where is the right place, and there's really no great way to figure that out, is what the other thing that we decided.
Right.
And it becomes a matter of where is a good density of people, and where is, where can you get the rent that's going to suit you.
And you're now working on a third location?
We're working on a third location.
So you're doing about a
Juliet.
location about every 5 years?
Yeah, and it took the first location to be cash flow positive pretty quickly.
Right.
Because that was when the technology was new and there was a lot of interest in it. The second, it took us 2 years to be cash flow positive, and we've been there now, had that one open for 4 years, and we're looking at opening a third place.
Well, that's fascinating. Well, I wish you the best of luck with your new location and the business, and really enjoyed talking with you today. Thank you very much.